Ever since last July's phone hacking revelations, the press has been in the hot seat, most notably with the long-running Levinson inquiry into media ethics. An event so star-studded it resembled a kind of anti-BAFTAs, with glamorous actress Sienna Miller, seething funny man Steve Coogan, dreamy-eyed whorefucker Hugh Grant, seedy tabloid ambassador Paul McMullen, also known as TV's Roland Rat. Yes, they were there, as was voice of an angel Charlotte Church and voice of one uncle Heather Mills, all swapping light and sometimes harrowing anecdotes with this guy, your host, cuddly-faced Lord Levinson, chatty man. The major draw was the scrap between Hugh Grant and shadowy Daily Mail editor Paul Dacre, who's not seen on TV much for fears he might slither through the screen and stop your heart by whispering in Latin. Nevertheless, here he is, temporarily adopting human form to move through our realm. And look, here's a rare sight. He touches a Bible without it bursting into flames before sitting down to moan about Hugh Grant. Now, I don't quite know what it is about witty, handsome sex symbol Hugh Grant that annoys the purple-headed fuming pepperpots so much, but they've been trading insults for weeks since Grant implied the Daily Mail had hacked his phone and Dacre said that was a mendacious smear. Things seem a little bit tense between them, really, but I've seen enough Hugh Grant movies to know how this will all turn out. At first they don't get along, and by the end they'll be hungrily kissing to the sound of Wet, 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 until Reese Ifans walks in wearing a pair of funny pants with the mendacious smear down the arse crack. Along with the Levinson chat show, there are 3 separate police investigations, and on Saturday 5 Sun journalists were arrested, raising fears that Rupert Murdoch, seen here on a golfing holiday looking like the Emperor out of Star Wars, may swoop down and destroy the Sun like some sort of demon out of a Mayan prophecy. Although he is fond of the newspaper, which is printed, or to use the technical term, shat, at News International's fancy Wapping HQ. Inside, the Sun goes on a kind of fairground ride, round the roller coaster, down the helter-skelter, before being carefully scrutinised to ensure it contains as much bullshit as possible. Amongst the usual hate and tits, Monday's Sun had a powerful column by Fleet Street legend Trevor Kavanagh, in which he thundered that Sun journalists were being subjected to a witch hunt. Now, some may say it's Richard the Sun to complain about witch hunts, having carried out plenty of them itself. Although that's not entirely fair. The Sun hasn't actually conducted a witch hunt against actual witches. It has targeted a couple of other groups, however, such as social workers, women in burqas, left-wingers, suburban swingers, binge drinkers, forward thinkers, gypsies, shirkers, public sector workers, underage mums, overage mums, sponges who sit around twiddling their thumbs, anyone who's had a fight, anyone with cellulite, looters, saggy hooters, Leninists, feminists, Satanists who take the piss, so-called expert boffins, the escorts that let Frank Boffin, anyone caught cheating, Angus Deaton, the England squad, the goalie's hands, the manager, the Hillsborough fans, trendy vicars wearing knickers, Lesers Benders, the cast of EastEnders, Leslie Grantham, foreigners who can't sing our national anthem, the French, the Portuguese, the Krauts, the MEPs, Argentina, Polish cleaners, anyone who lives in Spain or starts a human rights campaign, geeks, freaks, crackers, hackers, killjoys, pillocks, Tory boys, Kinnocks, moaners, miners, former men with new vaginas, the local hoodie, Jade Goody, jailbirds, nerds, trouble songbirds and long words and cheating turds on disability benefits who aren't quite disabled enough for their liking, and Chris Jeffries, Russell Harty, members of the Green Party, anyone who says recycle, wayward superstar George Michael, Channel 4, ITV, Channel 5, the BBC, overeaters, asylum seekers, especially if they snuck into Britain using any kind of vessel. Katie Wessel, Katie Wessel's Prosy Gran, Iran, Emperor Hirohito of Japan, zealous coppers, wife swappers, bureaucrats, eurocrats, non-existent feral cats, an innocent man called Robert Maratz, are cupcakes, the cast of The Only Way is Essex, the Levinson inquiry into media ethics, and the occasional super model of bitches, but never ever witches. Unless, of course, you count all the bloody times I've had to go at witches. Just wish I could learn to control these fucking mood swings.